Hey, Kyle's Wonderful here again with another wrestling review. This time it's part 2 of Impact Wrestling Emergence from August 12th, 2022, live from Chicago, Illinois. Unfortunately, this is the first time I've ever had to do a part 2 of a video. I was almost an hour and a half into part 1 before I lost internet. So I've got only the two main events to talk about next, and they're both really, really good. So if you're looking for what happened on the rest of the show, including the countdown pre-show, go check out my part 1 video, which is already on the channel. But we've got our two final big semi-main event and main event matches for the Knockouts Women's title and the Impact World Championship on the men's side. So we'll start with the women's Knockouts title. We get a highlight video for the Knockouts title match, which is next. We see Mia Yim, who defeated Deonna Purrazzo in a number one contenders match to get this title shot. So both champion Jordynne Grace and Mia Yim have been talking some trash to each other, but it looked like last night on Impact that Mia got the better of Jordynne, reminding Jordynne that she was the shortest reigning tag team champion ever. So she'll be used to short reigns when Mia wins the title. That was pretty funny after Jordynne only won it 2 months ago at Slamversary and that Queen of the Mountain match. So Mia was also in that match and now gets a chance here, like I said, beating Deonna Purrazzo to get the number one contendership. Mia Yim makes her cool entrance here. It gets a lot of cheers from the crowd. Mia is a former Knockouts champion about 5 years ago when she was named Jade, when she was part of the Dollhouse. But they did confirm that counts as being part of Mia Yim's title reign. Jordynne Grace then comes out next with the Knockouts title, and the crowd is cheering big time for her too, as both women are both crowd favorites. It's going to be interesting to see if either woman wants to take any cheap shots or shortcuts, or if this is going to be a clean match. So Jordynne Grace has the size and power advantage as well as being the champion coming in. Meanwhile, Mia Yim has the experience advantage, and I'm not quite sure who would have the strength and quickness because Jordynne is kind of small despite being also muscular. It's hard to describe, but she's not like a big lunk in there that's like you know, can't get around very well, because Jordynne Grace can get around. So this is going to be a very even match. It's kind of too close to call on paper. I have no idea who's going to win this one. Yes, Jordynne Grace only got the title 2 months ago, but Mia Yim reminded us that Jordynne Grace is used to the short reign. So that really puts even more of a doubt in my mind of who's going to win now, because you would just think that Jordynne would win and move on, but it was a little iffy. So let's get into this one. It ends up being a really, really good match. So they start slow. They start with some shaking the hands here until starting some fast-paced grappling, and they were pretty even both on that. So then they reset and then they tie up. Jordynne's now able to use her power to push Mia. She gets to the ropes here, but then they go back and forth. Mia's showing she won't be pushed around or just want the rope break either. She's going to be stubborn about it. So she might not have a choice with Jordynne Grace's massive power later on if she wants to get out of it or not. Mia gets a wrist lock on or a waist lock on, but Jordynne powers out of it, hitting a shoulder tackle right after. Jordynne knows that shows that she's got great agility as well by evading some attacks right here. That's what I was talking about with Jordynne Grace, not only being really muscular, but agile and quick on her feet as well. Jordynne then hits a deadlift German suplex that was super impressive. Mia's able to kick out at one, so it's going to take a lot more than that to get Mia Yim beaten tonight. So Mia quickens the pace here, hitting some kicks to the knee and then a shotgun drop kick that sent Jordynne hard into the corner. Jordynne holding her shoulder a little bit, rolling out of the ring here, but Mia Yim gives her no time to breathe before Mia just dives right on the Jordynne Grace. That was awesome. Really, really good match here. Now Jordynne has a little bit of hurt shoulder. Mia only gets a 1 count off of it, then hits some stiff kicks. That looked painful. Jordynne can't seem to get up without getting kicked right back down, but a pin attempt allows Jordynne to finally get up. Jordynne looks for a deadlift suplex here, but Mia counters it, applying a guillotine. But again, Jordynne Grace is too powerful. She's able to hit a suplex anyway, breaking the hold. So Mia crashes, and Jordynne gets a boot up eventually when she charges at her. Mia does. Jordynne goes back up to the ropes here, but Mia goes up there too to meet her. Jordynne is able to block a superplex attempt, and then Jordynne flips over Mia with the sunset flip. The sunset flip power bomb was blocked, but not the massive running power bomb that Jordynne Grace hits right after that. That looked great. Looked like Jushin Thunder Liger. So this match is already amazing. Both women are down recovering now. Jordynne's still holding on to her shoulder. They both get up, have a huge forearm battle, but Mia gets a big kick in, showing some great kicks throughout this match. Jordynne is able to get up, but Mia hits another big kick. Jordynne gets up again, but this time Mia hits a Pele kick for a 2 count. Mia hits some Kawada kicks now, but Jordynne counters one of them and hits a big move here. Mia then kicks out at 2, but won't be able to kick out of too many big shots. I think it was a spine buster. Sorry about that. It was a spine buster, and it looked nasty. So Mia then blocks a Grace driver attempt right after that, which is like made in Japan or Karma. And then Jordynne hits a lariat and applies cattle mutilation or something similar to that, stretching Mia out big time. So Mia is definitely stuck in the middle of the ring. She can't drag Jordynne with her, so Mia has to use some joint manipulation here, breaking like or not breaking, but breaking the hold, but like bending the fingers and wrists back and stuff like that to break the hold. Smart move there because she wasn't able to drag Jordynne. Both women now apply an inverted chin lock at the exact same time. Both start fading and both drop to their knees, now breaking the hold, hitting strikes while on their knees. Mia hits a headbutt and then both go down. So this has been fantastic. What a match. This would not look out of place on a New Japan show. I'm telling you. Really, really good stuff here. Mia then hits a tornado DDT and almost wins the title here, but Jordynne has some fire left inside. She's not going to give up the title that easily. Jordynne then stops the top rope attack and hits Mia with the muscle buster here. Wow. Mia's just barely able to kick out in time. That was a high impact move. Mia Yim kicked out, but one more big slam like that might end it. Mia then blocks another Grace driver attempt, which probably would have ended it. Like I said, one more big slam, but Mia ends up on the ropes again with Jordynne up there with her. Mia blocks the superplex here, then hits a top rope code blue, but Jordynne Grace is just barely able to bridge out of this pin. The crowd is mad about that one. They're chanting that was 3. They're not liking that bridge kick out. I didn't think the shoulder was still down, but the camera angle that we got really didn't even show the shoulder. So I'm guessing they saw something we didn't. Anyway, a little bit of a botch there, not too much to ruin this match because now both women are trading quick pins as Mia Yim hits some big strikes, but Jordynne blocks package pile driver attempt, and then Jordynne hits the Grace driver that she tried 2 other times. That's the Made in Japan move. 1, 2, 3, of course. The winner of this match by pinfall and still Knockouts Women's Champion Jordynne Grace. So as I'm writing these notes, I had goosebumps watching this match. This match was epic. This is a must see. I don't see anything wrong with this match. Mia Yim and Jordynne Grace put on a clinic out there for all the other women to take notes throughout any company in the world. Jordynne wants to shake hands here, but Mia thinks about it. She's about to shake hands, but then Masha Slamovich comes out. Holy crap, as if this moment couldn't get any better than it already was. Undefeated Masha Slamovich comes down to the ring, hands a black envelope to Jordynne Grace. Of course, it's Jordynne Grace. Wow, the undefeated Masha has her sights set on the champion. The crowd goes from cheering Jordynne Grace a second ago to now they're chanting, Masha's gonna kill you. Great, just great television here. This should be a really good match. I think Jordynne needs to win it after we just saw this amazing display from Jordynne Grace tonight. But I know that Masha Slamovich can go too in the ring. She has not really had a super competitive match on Impact as of yet. This one should be competitive whenever they fight for the title. It should be great. But if they have Masha absolutely destroy Jordynne Grace, it would definitely be a shame, especially after watching this match tonight. Jordynne Grace can absolutely go in the ring. Masha Slamovich wins a close one and wins the title, that would be fine. As long as it's just not a huge beatdown. At the end of the day, more important to me than like who wins the title and stuff like that is it going to be a great match? And I think it would be, other than like if it was I don't know, 1 minute match. You see what I'm saying? So I wonder where Mia Yim goes from here. Maybe she can try and find a partner and challenge Vexed for the Knockouts tag titles because Mia Yim really has shown that she's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, really. Over the last 2 months, she's really been putting down some banger matches. So it should be great. Mia's matches this month against Deonna Purrazzo and Jordynne Grace have been really, really good. Almost, you could say, epic. So Mia Yim deserves a little bit more. She deserves some more stuff, and hopefully it'll come to her. So it is main event time, and I just finished telling you guys that I normally don't care about who wins, but there's always a few exceptions, as I am from Detroit, and I am really rooting for Alex Shelley of the Motor City Machine Guns in the main event. This is a rare match in 2022 where I actually care who wins. I badly want Alex Shelley to win his first ever Impact World title and his first ever Impact World title match. So if Shelley does walk out tonight, I'm not expecting it. I am expecting to be let down. I know what I'm getting into, but I am if Shelley can walk out of here with the Impact World title, I will absolutely freak out, and it would truly be a mark out moment, as I am a dirty Shelley, dirty Alex Shelley mark for sure. It was funny when he was calling Josh Alexander and Alex Shelley mark on Impact, because I'm like, oh no, that's me. So we see the same hype video that they played before their contract signing on Impact the night before. But it was a really good hype video. I didn't mind seeing it again. Of course, I am biased. I'm a big Shelley mark. So no matter what the outcome should be, will be, it should be a good match. They have to follow that incredible women's match, not to mention that banger of a match that Bandito and Ray Horace had. Definitely check out part 1 of my review if you're looking to find out about that. Unfortunately, I lost power. That's why I had to make a part 2. But Alex Shelley now comes out. He doesn't have any solo music. He's just coming out this Motor City Machine Guns music. Shelley is looking ultra focused and almost maybe a little bit nervous, but nerves can be a good thing. It can make you feel alive without having to get punched right in the mouth to make you wake up. You already come into the match on fire, basically. With that, you can have nerves destroy you or fuel you. And with a 20+ year veteran like Alex Shelley, I was thinking it was going to let it fuel him. So I was really looking forward to this one once I saw the look on his face. Josh Alexander then comes out first, and let's see if the Shelley light is able to last or burn out fast. As Alex Shelley comes out, he's going to look for to get through the opening flurry. You got to imagine that Josh Alexander understands that this is first ever match for Alex Shelley in a world title match. So Josh was going to look to lock in and take control and just survive the opening flurry. Or at least this is what I'm thinking would happen, Shelley's going to come in with the experience advantage and the speed and agility advantage. Josh has the size and the strength, maybe the grappling advantage. I would say, if you want to call the amateur style wrestling, Josh would have the advantage, but Alex Shelley might have the submission advantage, technical submission styles with holds and stuff. So this is going to be a really good one. Shelley has so many innovative moves he can bust out at any point, being one of the best innovators in the last 20 years. That's what they were talking about with so many people. Josh Alexander basically explained that, I've fought 100 different Alex Shelleys in my life because they all steal your stuff. They all are innovated by you. Were the innovator, basically. But good stuff where Alex Shelley told him, well, you're just a dirty Alex Shelley mark at the end of the day, with Josh Alexander explaining a whole story about him going to a TNA show, seeing Alex Shelley, and then the very next day Josh Alexander joined wrestling school. So this is going to be a good one. Josh Alexander now comes out with the Impact World Championship. And of course, he looks focused, and as he always does. But you do have to imagine maybe Josh is thinking about what Eddie Edwards told him about the other side of being a champion. Plus, Josh is probably thinking about what Shelley said to him on Impact to heart as well. So we'll have to see if Josh Alexander can push all those thoughts to the side and just wrestle on instincts in this main event match. The crowd's cheering for both men. There's really not someone that they're cheering more for. Just like that last match, they are both fan favorites. So we'll have to see if we get a clean match or if somebody's going to try and take some cheap cuts and stuff. So they shake hands as the bell rings, and let's see what happens. So this is a great match, spoiler alert. They look to tie it up or grapple here. They're both kind of hesitant to touch. Eventually they excuse me. Eventually, they tie up, and Josh uses his power to get Shelley over to the ropes. Then Josh gets a headlock taker over right after that. Shelley gets back up, and without getting into a hold, they reset. So Shelley now gets wrist control. Josh flips out of this and has wrist control himself now. Josh works over the arm a little bit, but then Shelley is able to use his great agility to counter. Shelley applies a headlock now and takes Josh to a knee, but Josh gets back up. Shelley takes him back to the mat, and Josh tries to suplex out of the headlock, but Shelley's able to block it, taking Josh back down to a knee. Finally, Josh is able to break it with getting to the rope, but no clean break necessarily from Josh, who hits Shelley here. Not really a cheating per se, just not a real clean break, but it's a title match. I'm fine with that. Shelley then hits a Hurricane Rana and a knee strike. Josh then loses his headgear already, and that fires Shelley up, or at least he was already firing up. Shelley then drops a knee onto the knee of Josh, and he's now working on Josh's leg a little bit here, applying a leg lock, working over the knee of Josh Alexander, the champion. Alex Shelley then transitioned into an STF, but Josh is able to get out. Shelley then has wrist control, but Josh counters, taking Alex to the mat. And then Shelley gets to his feet, and they get to the ropes. They tie up again with Josh up in the ropes, and he attacks the arm here. Shelley attacks the arm of Josh in the ropes, bending it a little bit here right after the break. The part of the crowd boos, but like I said with the Josh Alexander, not quite clean break earlier. It's not quite cheating either. This is a world title match after all. So Shelley attacks the arm on the rope for a second time when Josh counters with a back elbow, then rushes Shelley with a shoulder tackle here. And just like that, the last match, definitely just like the last match we saw, the smaller competitor isn't going to be able to take quite too many big bumps and slams. So that's something we'll have to watch out with Alex Shelley. Although I'm guessing you'll have to knock out Alex Shelley to pin him in this match. He's waited 20 years for this title shot, and Alex Shelley probably knows he'll have to wait another 20 years to get another one. So he's really going to be determined. Josh is going to have to basically knock him out or break his arm or something. So Josh works over the leg now, keeping the pace slow to Josh's liking while damaging the leg of Shelley here, who's able to finally get to the ropes. Clean break from Josh this time, who then applies a gory special submission hold where Shelley got stretched a lot more before getting out. Shelley then counters a move with a back elbow, quickly goes up to the middle rope and dives off with a knee strike right to that hurt arm of Josh Alexander. So then Josh counters an Irish whip, but Shelley gets his feet up in the corner to counter Josh, who was charging in. Shelley then does a tilt-a-whirl into an arm bar on that hurt arm. Now they're on the mat. Shelley transitions it into the Border City stretch, one of his finishers, but Josh Alexander is able to power out. Shelley then attacks the arm again with a kick and hit a kick to the face as well. Josh Alexander's down and outside the ring. Shelley thinks about either diving off the rope or going like through the ropes, but decides to just roll Josh from the ring instead. Maybe it was a mistake as Shelley then gets in the ring. Josh hits a knee strike to his face and a running crossbody to his back that knocks Shelley off the apron to the barricade. Shelley's now holding his back as Josh is holding his arm again. Back in the ring now, Shelley hits more knee attacks on Josh. Then Shelley hits the dragon screw leg whip that really has now damaged the leg of Josh even further. Josh now has a hurt leg and a hurt arm. Shelley has been keeping the pace slow here. He applies a nasty looking death lock on the legs now. And we know that Shelley was going to be innovative, but I didn't exactly expect all these cool different submissions. This is a very awesome match to watch. While Josh is trapped in this deathlock, Shelley also is applying holds on the arm, such as like an arm bar into a hammerlock and stuff like that, while also working on the leg. So the two hurt body parts of Josh Alexander, the arm and the leg, both getting worked over at the same time. We got a really smart game plan so far from Shelley. But Josh is able to block a Hurricane Rana attempt after that, and Shelley's just barely able to block a C4 strike, which might have ended it. Mostly Shelley was able to block that C4 strike because of the work he's done on Josh Alexander's arm. It was hard for him to lift him up with the double underhook. So Josh now tries to hit a suplex instead, but Shelley blocks that too. Josh deadlifts Shelley and hits a fisherman suplex that looked pretty bad, but Josh is too hurt to get the pin, and they just both use this time to recover. Now they're up and they both hit forearms. Josh is getting big shots in. Shelley's going to definitely need to avoid any more striking exchanges because he got destroyed in this one. So Josh just destroys him, but Josh Alexander also hurt his own arm with those attacks. Josh is able to hit a T-bone suplex, however, and it looks like Josh is building some momentum. Josh looks for hits, a running chop, and then a rolling senton, just like Finley used to do, and Shelley is in big trouble now. Josh tries for a middle rope knee drop, but Shelley moves out of the way. Josh is able to roll through to it, but Shelley then slams. Once he's back up, Shelley slams Josh into the turnbuckle face first. That was a nasty shot. Josh has had neck injuries in the past and just got big time whiplash, and it's not helped by right after a tornado DDT from Shelley that looked really good, making the situation worse for Josh, who now has a bad neck, bad arm, and a bad knee. So Shelley then hits a top rope splash, but Josh is able to kick out while also applying an ankle lock while kicking out. Shelley's having big time trouble dragging Josh anywhere, but eventually gets to the rope. The damage has been done, however. That was the ankle lock was in for a long time. Shelley's ankle is definitely going to be damaged from that going forward. Josh is dealing with leg, arm, and maybe a neck injury. So Shelley again attacks the neck with an enziguri kick. Then Shelley is able to hit slice bread number 2, but somehow Josh catches Shelley with a roll up right after he hits slice bread number 2, almost winning the match right there. Shelley is then able to counter a power bomb with a face buster, with showing great agility with that one. Shelley then hits a big thrust kick to the face, and an air raid crashes hit, but Josh Alexander still able to kick out at 2. Josh is in trouble though, so he rolls out of the ring, and Josh is super dazed. He's got a bad neck, arm, and leg. Shelley has a bad ankle and can't take too many more slams as his back is also killing him. In a key moment here, Josh Alexander counters a charge on the outside, sending Shelley into the steel steps hard. That back is damaged a lot on Shelley. Shelley's able to hit the Destino version of sliced bread here outside of the ring, and that dazes Josh even more here, who hits the back of his head on the mat outside the ring. Shelley then rolls him back in, but Josh kicks out again. Shelley immediately on the kick out applies a Border City stretch now. Josh is just barely able to get to the ropes with a toe. That was looking like it might have been ended there if Josh couldn't get a toe to that rope. Shelley then gets wrist control, but Josh keeps hitting forearms here. Shelley then hits the bad knee again with a kick, but Josh stays on his feet. Shelley now has wrist control, still hitting some chops. Josh takes a ton of chops, dropping to a knee here. Shelley's then talking trash in Josh Alexander's face, but this is just a mistake here. This fires up Josh, who hits Shelley with a huge kick, then a running kick to the arm. Oh no, Shelley hits the huge kick and the huge kick to the arm. Sorry about that. Shelley then hyperextends the arm over Josh's shoulder, so it looks like getting him mad there worked in Shelley's favor. So then Shelley tries to hit Shell Shocked, which is the same thing as like a Blade Runner from Jay White, but Josh counters this into a German suplex. And then Josh hits another one and tries for a third one, but Shelley blocks the third German suplex. Josh then blocks the slice bread number 2 right after that, and Shelley gets slammed on his slammed down hard when Josh hits a nasty ripcord elbow, maybe knocking Shelley out right after that little flurry. Shelley's just barely able to kick out at 2, maybe on instincts alone. Shelley's able to counter another one of those ripcord elbows, which probably would have ended it. Josh blocks all of his attacks, however, and then applies the ankle lock again. Josh transitions into a sharpshooter, but Alex Shelley is able to counter this somehow into the Border City stretch. Josh Alexander's just barely able to get out, then applies the ankle lock yet again. Shelley kicks himself free with a big kick to Josh's face, then applies the Border City stretch yet again, but Josh counters it with his own Border City stretch, but Shelley gets out of that right away. Then Shelley is able to hit 2 straight shell shocks in a row. I thought it might have been over, but no. Josh Alexander is going to kick out of everything. He kicks out of this as well. Again, Shelley's locking in the Border City stretch. Josh turns it into a pin, and Shelley kicks out. So then Shelley's looking for sliced bread number 2 again, but Josh blocks it, hitting a spinning tombstone pile driver. Holy crap, that looked nasty. I thought the match was over there, but Shelley had the heart to kick out at 2 somehow. What a match. This is legendary stuff here in this match. Josh can't believe it that Shelley kicked out. Give me 1 second. Right after that spinning tombstone, I thought Shelley was out of it. He had the heart to kick out. What a match. Josh can't believe it. The crowd's going wild. Both men now struggle to their feet. Shelley blocks a C4 attempt and hits another shell shock, but Shelley is a little too hurt here to make the cover. Josh fires up, and he gets up first somehow after the shell shock that he just got hit with. Josh Alexander just simply hits the C4 spike. That looked nasty as well, and the referee counts 1, 2, 3. The winner of this match by pinfall and still Impact World Champion Josh Alexander. But wow, first of all, that match is absolutely must see and there was also like 3 other must-see matches on this event, so automatically making this event good no matter what else might have been on the show. Wow, what a true match in this main event, a true struggle with a ton of drama. There was so much heart and shown in this match between Josh Alexander and Alex Shelley. It was really a classic wrestling match, really done right. I don't think there was too many near falls. There was a couple near the end, but they didn't rely on near falls. What they were relying on was a lot of good grappling, a lot of working over body parts and stuff like that, stuff that I like. So maybe this not match isn't going to be for everybody, but I think everybody should watch it, and maybe they'll find something. Even if you're not a grappling kind of guy with submission holds, you might still like this one. My only complaint for this match is at the end that Josh just completely no souls the shell shocked, where he's already been through a really grueling match, and not long before it had been hit with 2 other shell shocks that put him down for a while. So why at this moment does he take the shell shock, get right up, and then just a few seconds later beat Alex Shelley with his finisher? That was a little weird, seemed a little bit done, but the last 10 seconds of an almost 30-minute match isn't going to ruin the rest of the 30 minutes. This match is wild. This match is awesome. I don't even have much more to say about it other than you have to see this Josh Alexander Alex Shelley match. Now, me being from Detroit, I was a little bit upset about the ups. Like, it's not that often that I actually have a rooting interest, and I was definitely rooting for Alex Shelley in this one, but I definitely couldn't be too upset, even if I wanted to be a mark about it, because it was just such a great damn match. Josh Alexander really deserved the title. I think he deserved to keep it, even though I'm an Alex Shelley fan. So Alex Shelley, maybe time will come, maybe it'll never come, but in the meantime, maybe we'll introduce, like I've been saying it over and over, I wish we had X Division tag titles. Maybe the Motor City Machine Guns could go on to win those or something. I'm not really sure what they want to do from there, but if this is like Shelley's like magnum opus that he could show everybody, if they're like, oh, you used to be a wrestler, what did you show me one of your matches? And then he could put this match on and see, hey, look, I had a world title shot in the main event of the pay-per-view, and it was a really, really good, almost half-hour match. So this was like a magnum opus. This is something that's great. I hope we get to see more of it. Like I'm saying, I hope we can get another Shelley match at the next pay-per-view, which is Victory Road, and then we're not too far away from Bound for Glory either. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Sabin. We've got Kushida in the building for a little bit as well. Kushida will be going back and forth with New Japan and stuff as we get past G1. So we'll have to see where they go with that. I hope there's no breakups or anything like that. But if they wanted to go the route of having Alex Shelley turn heel, as long as he doesn't join the damn Honor No More, because I don't want him to be like the 5th guy in a faction. But if they want to run the route of maybe Kushida and Sabin getting turned on eventually, I wouldn't mind that either. So I just hope that there's more stories and more things for thanks bro. Definitely Emergence is awesome, and make sure you stick around. The last 2 matches, wow, my God, those last 2 matches are amazing. But thanks for the kind words. Definitely, I actually had to put out all the other stuff on a part 1 of a video for Emergence. I have an hour and 15 minutes up for part 1. My internet failed, and I had to actually make a part 2, which I could not skip these final 2 matches, which is where I left off for part 2. So really good stuff here. I'll be back. I cover Impact as well, so I'll be back a little bit on Thursday. We'll talk about all the stuff that came out of this. Don't forget Masha Slamovich now coming out, staring a hole through Jordynne. That looks amazing. And don't forget Killer Kelly is on the roster as well. So a lot of things are looking up. I think Impact's going to get even better and better as we go here. So really looking forward to it. Victory Road, like I said, is only it's about a month away, but then only 2 weeks after Victory Road is the big Bound for Glory. Both are on Friday nights, which I'm not a fan of these Friday night pay-per-views, let me tell you. But it is what it is. I'll eventually try to get the reviews up at some point during the weekends, just because there's so many Friday wrestling shows that I'm already reviewing on a weekly basis. So thanks for tuning in. Enjoy those definitely enjoy those matches, bro, because they were great. So I'm gonna get going. I'll talk to you guys again soon, and enjoy your day. Peace.